Hello, I'm Johnny Wright. I'd like to share with you today a brief message from Acts chapter 2, verse 2 on the subject of what's needed in the church. I preached on these lines years ago in our church in the early 1980s. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, what was needed then is needed today. Verse 2 states this, "And suddenly there came a sound from heaven as of a rushing mighty wind, and it filled all the house where they were sitting." Ladies and gentlemen, as I look at that verse, that speaks to me of God's sudden involvement. There's no way on this earth you could make me believe that they had any earthly idea of what was about to happen, how their lives would dramatically be changed and altered forever, simply because of the Spirit of the Lord coming, taking up His residence in their hearts and lives as Jesus had promised He would. There are at least three things in these verses that I want to share with you today. Number one, I believe with all of my heart that this sudden movement was not only for them, but for you and I today as well. For you see, I've seen a lot of Christians who are discouraged, down and out, and they needed the sudden movement of God in their lives to bring them up and out of the situations they were in. I do not know what you're facing today, but I do know this, that God is able to change your world, your life, suddenly. Secondly, this verse indicates clearly to me that the Lord did this without any prior warning. He just simply suddenly moved upon their hearts and their lives, and things changed. Thirdly, these verses tell me that this movement, this sudden movement of God, was sufficient for each and every one. For you see, the scriptures tells us that they came out from behind those locked doors, went into the streets, and proclaimed boldly and clearly the message of Jesus Christ. Ladies and gentlemen, do not you believe today that what we need in our churches and in our lives is once again for the sudden movement of God to move in our lives, change us, alter us, and cause us to be what we were intended to be all along. Thank you for listening, and may God bless you.